What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Cobra Kai was pretty amazing. First of all, we got to see what happened with the lives of Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence from the 1984 The Karate Kid. It had drama, it had humor, and it had fighting. Epic fighting. But we will now try to look at some of the scenes that didn't make it to the show. So here are the Cobra Kai deleted scenes that would have changed everything. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 5. I'm keeping these. Now, this first scene is one we're glad didn't make it to the show. Why? Because it paints Johnny in a completely different light than what the writers intended for this character. But that doesn't mean this scene isn't realistic. On the contrary, this scene is a testament to what a man is ready to do and say when he's down to his last dollar. Johnny Lawrence printed a bunch of posters to promote his new dojo, but since none of the kids wanted to learn karate from a drunk 40-year-old, he had to return them and get his money back.
Hey, I'm Miguel. My family and I just moved into 109.
Great, more immigrants.
You see, Johnny is unemployed, and getting that money back could mean the difference between life and death. So when he actually takes them to the local printing shop, he tells them that he wants to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, he actually wanted to return the flyers and get his money back. To this, the guy only asked, do you want to recycle them? Now what Johnny says next will make you question his character a little bit. He just mumbles, "Stupid climate change. No, I want my money back."
It was an illegal kick.
Oh, illegal? Really? Come on, what about that elbow to my knee?
Yeah, I got a warning, you got the win.
Whoa. No fight.
Stupid climate change. Climate change is not a stupid issue, but we understand that the writers wanted to show us a man who's down on his luck and ready to go to extremes. Now, when the clerk refuses to give him his money back, he pulls out a beer wrapped in a paper bag and he starts drinking it. After which, the clerk kindly asks him to leave the printing shop. After this, Johnny takes all of his yellow flyers about his dojo and he storms out of there. Now, do you see why we didn't want the directors to include this scene on the show? It shows Johnny in a very bad light, and it doesn't go hand in hand with the sympathetic story they want to develop for him.
Turn these.
You mean you want to recycle them?
Recycle. Stupid climate change. No, I want my money back.
Sir, they're already printed on.
Yeah, well, I'm closing my business, so I don't need them anymore.
Number 4. Poaching the new kids. Now, this is one of those scenes that has some racial banter mixed inside, and again, we're glad it wasn't included in the show. It would have just damaged its reputation. But aside from that, we think this scene was supposed to go right before Johnny went into that printing shop. Here's why. You see, Johnny Lawrence really needs money. He needs to get some children to attend his classes or he's going to end up homeless and starving. So what did he do? He went out and got to recruiting. At first, his dojo promotion didn't go too well, so he resorted to poaching the kids of the dojo next door. And even though the kids didn't want to learn karate, he was quite persistent and he tried to get them on his side, but they just went inside the building. Then the trainer of the Brazilian martial arts and 2 other guys walked out. They asked Johnny what he was doing, and without hesitation, he told them that their dojo is teaching a weak sport. Just before they were about to fight, the police rolled down the block. Since Johnny was on probation, he had to back out or he could have found himself in jail. Now, while the scene isn't particularly dangerous as is, here was one little part that we left out. That's the part when Johnny said, "In my dojo, I don't make the black guys call me master."
This one time this kid in my class was texting on his phone. So I body slammed him to the mat, flying elbow to his teeth.
Now, this was an immediate red flag for us. First of all, it doesn't matter that the Brazilian master later asked the African-American person to stop calling him Master Todd and start calling him Todd. We still can't see why they had to put that in the scene. It's not funny, it's not interesting, and it's a bit on the shady side of the equation. So we're not the biggest fan of the scene not being included in the show. It would have just been a negative addition. Maybe that's why they cut it out.
In my dojo, I don't make the black guys call me master.
Whoa. You want to take this to the mat?
I'm fine right here on the pavement.
Let's do it.
Number 3. Dinner fight. This one is just for laughs, folks, and in this scene we got to see just how good Zolo Mariduena and Tanner Buchanan are at acting. You see, during the dinner scene, they managed to get everyone fooled when they started fighting in the middle of filming. The actor sitting at the table had no idea what was going on. You see, When Dan and his family invited Bobby and Samantha over for dinner, Miguel watched them from the distance, and you could see it in his eyes. The guy was heartbroken.
Hey guys, you know that billboard with a big ass dick on it? I guess Sam takes after her dad.
Not being able to stand the injustice any longer, he stormed at the dinner table and he started cursing and shouting at everyone there. And you could see the actors didn't know what was going on. They didn't know about Zolo and Tanner's little deal, so they thought that these guys were actually going to fight. The only person we think suspected this whole scene was Ralph Macchio. As soon as Miguel rushed towards the dinner table and started cursing, Ralph was looking for the hidden cameras, and we think he immediately found them. The others were clueless, and as soon as Tanner saw Zolo calm down, he immediately jumped up from his chair and said, "Are you the guy that was hugging my dad? Don't hug my dad!" And that's when they started violently pushing and shoving each other around. And at this point, everyone sort of knew what was going on. They all realized that this was just another big prank, and they even started applauding after they saw that they pulled a big one on the entire cast. We have to hand it to you guys. You had us thinking that this was something serious. Thank God it's just another funny prank.
Who are you? Are you the dude that was hugging my dad? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Oh, I know you're not my dad. Don't hug my dad.
Number 2, the car alarm. Now this is one of those scenes that would have been simply hilarious had it managed to make the final cut. But it didn't, and that's why we wanted to talk about it. And here's what's going on in this scene. The first thing that we see here is Coach Johnny giving a speech to the students in his dojo. Namely, he is asking Miguel if he had anything to do with purposely attacking the injury in his opponent. Miguel confirmed with a brief yes, and just as the coach was trying to say something, a car alarm went off in the background.
Your mom's gonna kill both of us.
Well, she would if she knew. When my school called, my yaya answered. Never seen her so proud. She won't talk.
All right, so let me get this straight.
Now we do know that the alarm pretty much ruined the scene. He immediately adapted to the situation and even made the students laugh when he asked them, "Do you hear that?" Now we know this is a blooper scene. It didn't make it to the final cut. After all, it did show us that Cobra Kai is actually shot in a real-life building. It's not a fake dojo built in some phony studio. This is actually the real deal, which gave a huge chunk of authenticity to this show. And that goes for any other shooting locations. In fact, almost all of the buildings you see on the show exist in real life, except for Miguel's apartment.
Did you purposely attack your opponent's injury?
Yes, Sensei.
Do you hear that?
Number 1, sweet scene with the LaRussos. Now this is one of the sweetest scenes in the entire show. Namely, it includes the LaRusso family visiting the school where Daniel won the karate tournament. But let's talk about this scene in a little more detail. After Daniel enters the school hallway with his wife and child, they're immediately greeted with a lot of friendly handshakes from old fans, and they're talking. They all admit how good of a karate kid Daniel actually was. And just as they walk away, Daniel looks at a giant poster of emotions.
All right? Strike here, you bloody his nose. Strike here, you break his teeth. Strike here, you could severely damage his trachea. Obviously, that's only for extreme situations.
His son comes up to him and tells him that it's pretty cool his dad was a karate legend. And then he finishes the dialogue with, "I know I don't say it enough, but I love you, Dad." Daniel immediately told him he loved him as well, and they hugged it out like father and son. But then the whole thing was cheapened. How? Well, Anthony actually asked for $400 from him to buy the new Xbox. Now this left us wondering whether what he said was sincere, or did he say it just to try and get the money? If this last part was deleted, then this scene would have made a great addition to the show, but it would have made emotionless Anthony more sympathetic towards his father. We know he's a kid, but still, it's sort of rude.
Can I have $400?
What?
I want to get the new Xbox. It comes with Gears of War, which is like $73 on its own, so we're already coming out ahead. Brad Simmons has it, and it's freaking awesome.
And on that note, we end this video. But hey, which of these scenes do you think should have been included in the show? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.